There is a moment in every man's life when he senses something shifting in a woman he cares about. Her tone changes. Her energy changes. The way she looks at him feels different, almost distant. Most men ignore it because they hope it will pass. But when a woman is emotionally finished, she gives off signals that are subtle at first and then impossible to miss. If you learn to recognize them early, you can protect your mind, your confidence, and your future. Today you'll learn the 7 clues that reveal everything. A woman rarely walks away without giving warnings. She sends signals long before she physically leaves. And the first thing every man must understand is this: women disconnect emotionally before they disconnect physically. By the time she pulls away on the outside, she has already left on the inside. Emotional withdrawal is not sudden. It's a slow erosion. A shift in behavior. A change in rhythm. If you pay attention, you'll see it happening in real time. The first clue appears in her communication. When a woman is emotionally invested, her messages are effortless. She responds quickly. She engages deeply. She asks questions. She shares her day. But when she is emotionally finished, her communication becomes mechanical. Short replies. No curiosity. Delayed responses. And sometimes silence that stretches for hours without explanation. This isn't about being busy. It's about losing the emotional energy to keep the connection alive. Communication is a window into her emotional world. When the window closes, the relationship is already shifting. The second clue shows up in her tone. Women express emotional investment through warmth and softness. Their voice becomes gentle when they care. But when a woman feels done, her tone becomes flat. There's no spark. No warmth. Even arguments lose their intensity. She stops fighting for the relationship. Not because she's calm, but because she's done trying. When a woman no longer argues, she's no longer attached. A man must understand that a cold tone is far more dangerous than a loud argument. The third clue appears when she stops making plans. Women who care think ahead. They imagine weekends, dinners, trips, and small moments. They talk about the future because they see you in it. But when a woman is emotionally finished, her world shrinks to the present moment. She stops talking about tomorrow. She avoids commitments. She gives vague answers. She becomes non-committal. A woman who doesn't plan with you is a woman who no longer imagines a future with you. And once the future disappears in her mind, the relationship begins to fade. The fourth clue is her emotional distance. When a woman is connected, she wants to share her life. She wants to talk about her feelings, her stress, her dreams, and her struggles. She lets you inside her emotional world. But when she is done, she shuts down that access. She becomes private. Guarded. Closed off. You feel like you're talking to a version of her that no longer wants to be seen. Emotional intimacy is the heartbeat of a relationship. When she stops sharing, the heartbeat weakens. The fifth clue is a dramatic shift in her effort. Women naturally invest in the man they care about. They support him. They encourage him. They check on him. They put in effort without being asked. But when a woman is finished, everything stops. She no longer goes out of her way. She no longer shows enthusiasm. She becomes passive, detached, and uninterested. Effort is the clearest sign of emotional connection. When the effort disappears, the connection is fading fast. The sixth clue is how she reacts to your presence. In the beginning, your presence excited her. She lit up when you walked into the room. She felt safe, warm, and appreciated. But when a woman is emotionally done, your presence no longer changes her state. She doesn't light up. She doesn't lean in. She doesn't make eye contact. She doesn't mirror your energy. Her entire body language becomes neutral or even closed off. When a woman no longer feels anything when you're near, her heart has already stepped away. The seventh and final clue is the hardest one to accept. She starts imagining her life without you. This shift happens quietly inside her mind long before she says anything out loud. She starts separating her routine. She distances herself from your world. She spends more time alone or with others. She creates space emotionally and physically. And once she begins imagining a life without you, she starts preparing for it. This is the final stage of emotional detachment. By the time a woman gets here, she is almost completely gone. Most men try to fix everything once they sense distance. They text more. They call more. They push for clarity. They demand answers. But this only accelerates the emotional disconnection. When a woman is finished, pressure doesn't bring her back. Neediness doesn't bring her back. Clinging doesn't bring her back. A man must remain composed, grounded, and self-focused. Emotional control is power. The more you chase, the more she runs. The more you center yourself, the more clarity you gain. Understanding these clues is not about blaming her. It's about empowering you. Emotional withdrawal is part of human nature. Women tend to feel it earlier and express it differently. Men often miss the signs because they focus on actions, not emotions. But if you learn to spot these changes early, you can respond with strength instead of desperation. You can protect your self-worth instead of losing it. You can make decisions from clarity instead of fear. Remember one thing. A woman who is emotionally connected will always show it. A woman who is emotionally finished will always show it too. Your job is to see the truth, not to deny it. When you recognize these clues, you can step back, observe, and decide what is best for your life. Never surrender your emotional power. Never let someone's withdrawal destroy your confidence. A strong man pays attention early and adjusts quickly. Sometimes a woman is not permanently finished. Emotional withdrawal can be a response to stress, disappointment, or unresolved conflict. But you cannot fix it by forcing connection. You fix it by improving your presence. By standing firm. By showing stability. Women are drawn to certainty. When you stay grounded, she feels it. When you find direction, she notices. When you level up your discipline and purpose, her respect shifts. She may come back emotionally, or she may not. But you must not lose yourself in the process. Your job is not to chase. Your job is to become a man she respects. A man she trusts. A man she feels safe with. Emotional strength is the core of male attraction. When a woman pulls away, your reaction determines everything. If you panic, you lose. If you stay composed, you rise. If you focus on growth, you win long term. Women respond to the energy of a man who is centered, calm, and grounded in purpose. When a woman is emotionally finished, it's not your defeat. It's your awakening. It forces you to look at your habits, your patterns, and your presence. It forces you to become sharper, stronger, more aware. Growth often begins in moments of emotional pain. You learn more about yourself during heartbreak than during comfort. You become more focused, more disciplined, and more driven. A woman leaving is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a stronger version of you. In the end, these 7 clues are not just signs of her withdrawal. They are signals for your transformation. They tell you when it's time to step back, when it's time to level up, when it's time to protect your energy. You cannot control a woman's emotions, but you can control your response. You can control your mind. You can control your purpose. A man becomes unstoppable when he stops chasing approval and starts chasing growth. If she is emotionally finished, let her walk. Don't fight someone who has already left internally. Focus on building your strength, your discipline, your confidence, and your mission. The right woman connects with a man who is grounded, not desperate. The right woman chooses a man who knows his value. When you elevate yourself, the world responds differently. Pain becomes power. Loss becomes progress. And you become a man who no longer fears emotional withdrawal, because you understand your own worth.